Playing with the Gittix today. I had to fuck with my truck a little bit, but that's done. What I'm trying to do here is just right before I pull the quarter off to actually mount these, because I still have to modify it up here. 'Cause right up there, you're not supposed to be able to stick your fucking finger in there. So before I get those, I need to pin them in place. I guess I call it pinning, where I'll drill a 1/8 inch hole and then run a screw in it, so that way that's when I put it back together, that's pinned. That's going to be in that spot when it goes to assemble to weld it. So I guess kind of like a key. But yeah, just doing some fitting there. And then I got to do the same thing over here. And then I still got to put that wheelhouse in right there. I had to cut it and reshape it a little bit. So now I got that all fixed up where it fits good, but now I got to weld the other half back in. Which, that's already been pinned, the wheelhouse. All I gotta do is just drill some holes and spot weld it. And then I gotta fit this trunk extension before I want to do all that before I take the quarters off. That way I can just weld everything, and then I can put the quarters back on and start welding all that up. So that's what's going to be happening today. I was already test fitting these, which they don't fit too bad. I mean, they're not horrible, just a little bit of work, and it didn't take too much to make them fit. Just got a little hump right there, but to get all the corners to line up, I'll just have to deal with that little hump there, and then during the body work I can tap and hammer and do all that shit. But just to get the main points on there, that's on. This one here took a little bit more work, but not too bad. Come on, bitch. There. Alright. See, that one's not. That one doesn't have as big of a hump right there as the other side did, but it'll all line up pretty good. Took a little bit. I had to put a block of wood right here on the side of this panel and hit it to get it to the side to shrink in, so that way it would line up with this. But that's all good, and that's pinned. And this one's pinned. So those are good. Now I can move on to finishing just what I was saying over there. And then I still got to do this. I don't think I'll get to this today, but I got to weld this. I got to fix this floor patch here. Yeah, I'm not even bother with that today. I ain't gonna get there. It's gonna take me the rest of the day just to get probably all this shit squared away. So anyway, getting on it. Alright, I got this piece extended here. This is Gittix fail again. So the trunk extension was way too short. Obviously, let's see, it's the width of a thumb that it was too short. And I also had to do this because the radius of the wheelhouse was way too tight on the quarter panel, so I had to bring this up a hair. I mean, I only had to bring this up maybe 3/16 to a maximum 1/4 inch. As you can see, the problem here, why I had to do this, if you look straight down on it, okay, that's right there, straight across. You see the wheelhouse is not flat, or it's not parallel to the trunk extension. It tapers in. Now, if we go to the other side, you will see, not too bad, right? Looks pretty parallel. So, but then we go here and fail. So I have to lengthen this guy over so that way the radius will stay nice. And you can see it's butted up there. It's even with the trunk pan, even with the back tail panel. It's just another AMD fail. And this wheelhouse here was a fail. Had to modify it pretty good to make it fit the car, because it didn't fit worth a shit. It hung down way too much right here. I mean, it was hanging below the rocker about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. So by the time you, and there's centering holes here that the factory used to center the wheelhouses. There's one there, one here, and there's another one up inside there. So those are supposed to be lined up there, which they do, but well, they do now. The problem is I had to shift the wheelhouse from those positions here, cut the whole thing loose, and shift it upwards. So I had to rotate it, and then rotate it, and then lift it up. So, which I've never had this many problems with AMD before. They were really good. I've heard rumor that they switched suppliers, and everything has kind of gone to shit. So hopefully, if people bitch enough, they will fix that. Because this is bullshit. Paying a lot of money for something that fits like ass. I still got to do a little bit of work. I got to bring this out this way towards me. Just this right here. That way, you see it's kind of dented. Just need to bring the dent part out. Which is no big deal. The hammer will fix that. Just it's kind of dark outside, so I don't want like too much noise. Oh, ooh, good burp. Well, yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld this wheelhouse in now. All right. You don't know it. All right, what's up, everybody? Another day on the Giddix. So as I showed you last night, the had to cut that, pull this over, that way this lines up, and so I'll have to make a filler piece to fill that. Just another. They're just not making these these wheelhouses with the where they have as much pop out, or well, bulges out as much as the old ones did. Because the old AMD quarter panel or wheelhouse that I had, I stuck it on here and it fit perfect. It fit tits. Didn't hardly have to trim anything. This new wheelhouse that AMD's from their new supplier fits like ass. Not even fucking close. So yeah, AMD need to do something about that shit, because we're paying more money for less quality. But thank you for making the shit for us, but fix your shit. So yep, this one I'll be working on. I gotta fix that, and then after that I gotta drill some holes in here, and then I gotta clean this area up. I fitted all this last night too, so that way I had to do a little bit. I had to slice that right in there, just so that way everything would come and meet together. Flush up there, flush. Same thing on the other side. So now I gotta clean all that up and weld it up. So yep, that's what I'm gonna be doing for right now. Alright, let me get on it. Alright, I got my little sliver that's going to sit right up inside here. Like so. Neat. Now I got a piece of scrap metal here. Just gonna lay it on there and cut it out. I don't want to use good metal in Mike's car. I mean, come on now. He gets the scrap shit. Alright. No, I'll flip it over. Oh, damn it. Aha. There we go. Draw it out. Alright. Boom. Now cut it. Alright, well, I'm drawing out. So now I just need to cut it. So I'll go ahead and use this guy. The legs on this thing are weaker than I thought. Well, you don't need to watch me cut that. That's gonna be boring. Alright, got my sliver cut out. You can see it's shaped, and then it's a little misshaped right here, but what I'm gonna do is weld it in, and then I can hammer that to follow the contour better. If I try and shape that right now, I'd just be fighting it. Better if I get it tacked in than try and shape it. So, yeah, gonna do that. Oh, motherfucker. Got your damn gas on. Fuck. Yeah, it welds a lot better when you get fucking gas on. That's close enough. Time to bring out the copper. There, that'll work. Just finished welding it up anyways. As you can see, that fits much nicer now. So, as soon as I get this piece off, I'll finish welding those corners. Grind it all down, weld all that shit up, grind it down. And then we can move on to doing other shit. At least these are done being modified now. Alright, that side's been welded up. I'm not worried about grinding it perfectly flat and hammering and I'm re-grinding and all that shit because you're never going to see this. So, muy bueno, that's fine. And as you see, it fits up against there. And that's not even clamped, so. Well, it's clamped on this corner right here, but it's not clamped. This face right here is not clamped. So once I clamp that, there'll be zero gap. So it'll come out titties. Well, now I need to weld this guy on and move on to finishing the other side. So, guns to get on that. Alright, everything's all welded up. You can see all the bracing down in here is all welded up. The bracket that attaches the rear frame rail connector to the trunk extension, the trunk extension itself, there's another bracket on the front side of that, I'll show you in a second, but you can see that's how much I had to widen or lengthen that piece to get it to fit the wheelhouse correctly. Ain't that some bullshit? But that's all on there. Same with this side. That's all done. A lot of welding. Alright. Now, go back top side. Ugh. Alright. Now, I showed you what this looked like before, but as you can see now, it fits tight up against it. You know, it fits tight up against it here, like it's supposed to. You know, hint, hint, AMD. But yeah, I had to widen that piece out, or lengthen that piece, and then this piece here, I had to bring that up a little bit to get it to fit the quarter panel correctly. Probably wasn't a huge deal. I mean, I could have just crimped the quarter panel and the wheelhouse together, but it would, I don't know, I was afraid it would distort the quarter panel a little bit, so I said fuck it and just cut it, raised it, and I'm not worried about that being all pretty because you're never going to see that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that like that. Same thing with the other side. Oh, here's that this is one of the last pieces I gotta weld on. I just finished welding that one, and I gotta do that one. So I gotta grind this area down, and then copper coat it, and weld her up. Yep. Everything's on there nice. Fits nice and tight. Pull that shit out of the way. All the way down. Again, I had to reshape this even because it didn't have the same contour. This thing here was flat, so I had to throw the flange of this on the shrinker stretcher, shrink and stretch it to get it to follow the contour of the trunk pan. There's a whole bunch of shit I had to do this thing. I just can't remember everything I did. And this area here, you know, I had to widen that too, as you can see. So that's how much I had to lengthen it, not widen, just to get this line here correct. Because before this thing was over here. So, but yeah, that's all good now. So, only one thing left to do. Grind her down and weld her up. So, I guess I can set this right here. What sucks is when I'm recording, I can't see any music, or I can't hear music. Move some shit out of the way. Good enough. Alright. Get the grinder. expensive copper shit on it. I don't know why this stuff smells pretty good. Actually, it doesn't smell good, but it smells better than regular paint. Alright. Clamps. I've already got this thing pre-drilled. Welding time. Done. Alright. Now, so yeah, both sides welded. It's ready for quarter panels. Actually, no, I take that back. I gotta weld this piece up here. I might as well go ahead and weld that tonight too. I know that's in the correct spot. So yeah, I'll weld that tonight, and then we'll call this ready for quarter panels. Sweet.